What is up, Jags fans? Thank you for being a part of a Friday night show. We got the chat popping already. Hope you enjoyed that music. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. You don't like good music. That's from the band Strayin' Anchors. They're a local band here in Jacksonville. I know some of the members. You can find them on Spotify, Strayin' Anchors. They're letting us play their music for free on the channel, so I got to give a game coming. Oh, it would help if the mic was plugged in. Okay, look at that. Even after all this time, sometimes you forget to plug the mic in. But thank you for being here. What a great time here. Thank you for being a part of the live show. The chat's doing good already. I was mentioning the opening band that we played. That's Strayin' Anchors. Strayin' Anchors. You can get them on Spotify. They're a local Jacksonville band in here. They're You can hear it now? Okay, sorry. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you. Is the audio still not good? Is the audio still not good? It sounds like it's working now, right? Right? Off to a great start. Philip, stop it. Is it not working? I feel like it's working now. Is everything, is there something wrong with the audio? It's good. Okay, cool. All right. Follow everything, the Twitter, the Instagram, the YouTube. If this is your first time watching a live show or rewatching it, we're usually more on top of it. But Friday night shows are known to be a little more off of the Richter than everything else. So we're going to be looking at the Giants and what it's going to take to beat them. We're going to be taking a look at what the Jags have done and what could work going forward. So the Giants obviously have a good record, and it's going to take a lot to win because they're not your average team, because they don't necessarily have the greatest skill positions, but they're a good team. So they have wins. I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's get to the PFF. I always like to start with the PFF. This is what I was talking about. Like the overall scores, 56 overall, 58, 61. They seem to be getting better as a team, but no, the scores aren't anything to like write home about. And they've had some pretty good opponents. The Green Bay Packers game was a little funky. The Baltimore Ravens game was funky. The Cowboys game, they lost. Panthers Titans, a 1-point game. So not overly concerned about any of this. If we look at the let's look at the offense here. Andrew Thomas, their highest rated player at 90.2. Tyree Phillips with, again, this is where PFF gets a little weird. He's only played in 7 snaps, so you can't really get too into that. Wandale has been pretty good, but again, only 24 snaps. Saquon, obviously a good player, 77. He's got 336 snaps. Bellinger, their rookie tight end's been good. Daniel Jones, Darius Slate. So, I mean, decent players. Let's get to the first people in the chat. I know we were way behind, but Mr. Fizzle GA was the first one in. Now, others tried to be the first one in. But Mr. Fizzle, congratulations, you were the first one in. Jason Trent fan and Philip Butcher and Jags history all here pretty soon after that. Philip Butcher's a channel member. You too can be a channel member. It's like very inexpensive to be a channel member. I had forgotten what the price was, but it's like $3.99. So pretty good. So let me know what you think. This is a fan interactive show. Let me know what you think about the what the Jags will have to do to win. Again, we talked about this on our last show. Not a lot of players that like really stick out. I mean, Saquon sticks out as a decent player. Bellinger has been really good for a rookie. He's been really good. Outside of like probably 6 right here, I'm not too worried. I mean, Slayton is okay. He's gonna be like their number 1 with the injuries they have. Breida's been just a spell back. Their defense, though, they did a really good job this offseason. Picking up players and adding players to their team that could really solidify. Dexter Lawrence has been, amazing. Absolutely amazing. 4 sacks, 6 hits, 12 hurries. The guy's been good for sure. Leonard Williams. So when you look at their interior defensive line, you think, okay, we're not going to be able to run the ball, but that's actually the opposite. Teams have had a lot of success running the ball. The Cowboys had a lot of success running the ball. Tony Pollard had 105 yards on 13 carries. Ezekiel Elliott had 73 yards on 15 carries. So you can run the ball against this team. Other teams have had success. Kenyon Drake for the Ravens, who was kind of picked up off the street, I believe, had 10 carries, 119 yards last week. So you can run the ball against this team, but we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, O'Shane Eximnes is out. Yeah, he's out. He's one of the players that's out. Philip Butcher says that Giants D is better than people think. It is, man. It is. I just saw, if you guys saw the list where Tyson Campbell was rated like the 4th lockdown corner, on that same list, Fabian Moreau was also on that list. So Fabian Moreau's been really good. Aaron Robertson's been good. And honestly, the guy they brought in to be the guy down here at, let's see if we can find him. Where is he? Darnay Holmes, Adoree Jackson, right here, the guy they brought in. And it's been better than his numbers indicate, I will admit. Jihad Ward, he's been better than this 53 grade. I think he's been a lot better than this 53 grade. Just on film, he's looked decent. Kayvon Thibodeau, another rookie right here. Julian Love's been playing really well. They didn't think they were going to get all that out of Julian Love. And they drafted really, really well. They really did. Nick McLeod hasn't played much. Justin Lane hasn't played much. But you're right. Their defense is better than people think. Antonio Tolentino says, I finally made a live stream. Dude, Antonio, I'm glad you're here. We're about to get into the film. But I don't really know how. I got to figure out. I know there's a bot in the chat, but I used to know how to get rid of it. I can't really remember anymore. I'll try to figure it out as I'm talking, but whatever. I used to know how to get rid of the bots, but when you do this, it just turns into wait, I might actually be the way to do it right here. Hold on. Perfect. Look at this, boys. Look at this. We're out here. We'll just go ahead and report this person. Yes, reported. Perfect. So hopefully we won't see them anymore. Saved. Moon, don't save it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys would need the best dating site. Rumors Odell is back. All right, let's get into the film. All right, so here's what the Jags are going to have to do, all right? You know that's your... Philip, you got to relax, man. You got to relax. You know you made it when the bots come in. We've had bots, but yeah, you're right. Offense needs to score every single drive. So, all right, so here's going to be the key to beating them, right? So their defense runs just basically cover 3. They do a little bit of different stuff, but they run cover 3 most of the time. And then their offense, you're just going to have to stop them from executing. Like, it's weird. Their offense and the Colts offense reminds me of a lot of the same thing. Like, they lean on their running. They ask their quarterback to just not make mistakes and just take what the defense gives them. So if they execute, they're gonna do well, and they just have executed. So let's take a look at their defense first, because I kind of want to look at what the Jags offense is gonna have to do. So here's what I was kind of trying to tell you guys, right? So here they're lined up in like pretty much a pretty rare situation where they're lined up in man. So you're not going to see this, like, look at this, just one high. They play one high all the time. So whether it's cover 3 or cover 1, they play one high pretty much exclusively. But here's how they beat it here. Just they beat the linebacker in space, right? So they go empty formation. They do a little pre-snap motion. The Giants declare they're in man, and they're just going to do an inside route. Now, the key here is the offensive line gave Lamar Jackson time. So that's the key. The offensive line is going to have to give him time. If you give him time, you can get a guy over the middle of the field. You can get him open. I know you guys are going to love this play right here. You guys are going to love this one. All right, check this out. So here's their one high look again. Here's what I'm talking about. So they have one high. Look where he's playing and look where he's playing. This tells me that they're in a cover 3 right here. So if you don't know what cover 3 is, it's basically this corner is responsible for this entire third of the field. This free safety is responsible for the middle of the field, and this corner is responsible for this third of the field. Okay, very basic. Now, what they do underneath with the other guys can change from play to play. Typically, this safety either plays a robber in the middle of the field or it comes down to help in the run if they think it's going to be a run play. And so basically, they're going to see here a nice little play action. So now they're in their cover 3. What has to happen? Middle of the field. Now, the middle of the field is what you're supposed to take away in a cover 3, right? So you play cover 3 when you want to take away the middle of the field. And look what the Giants have done. They have a defender here, 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 and here. I mean, they're trying to take away the middle of the field, but Lamar Jackson just literally makes a perfect throw through the middle of the field. So this is going to be a Lukin right here. And I know Foyesade Alukin has been questionable, but I think he was hurt last game because he was moving a little slow. So I think he might have gotten hurt last game, just like Shaq Griffin. I mean, that throw is like right. That's on the money. That's on the money throw there for Lamar. Oh, and if you can't tell, here's the best part. That's a one-handed catch right there from your best friend and mine, Josh Oliver. One-handed catch from Josh Oliver. I love it. Antonio says, if Hamilton and Fatu Kasi are out, we are going to be in trouble on the D-line. Maybe. Who do you think covers Wan'Dale more most of the time? So he's been banged up, but I think that he's a guy that you're going to see. The Jags have shown they are not going to like move corners around. They're going to play Shaq Griffin on the defense's left. They're going to play Tyson Campbell on the defense's right. They're going to play Darius Williams in the slot as the nickel. So wherever he lines up is who's going to cover him. And that's what Mike Caldwell has done. Now, will he change that with Griffin being out and Herndon in or Claybrooks in? Maybe. But he hasn't shown that yet. And I thought it was interesting because on his press conference today, he talked about how they made adjustments at halftime. When we watched the film, they did not make adjustments at halftime. They might have made tiny adjustments, like line up more inside leverage than you were, but they stayed in cover 1 man the entire game. So when Mike Caldwell came out there in the press conference today and said, we made adjustments at halftime, no, you didn't. Like, you did not make adjustments. Like, you may have made little adjustments, but you didn't make adjustments like we're talking about. I mean, we looked at them covering that trips right bunch. And listen, how many times did we talk about that trips right bunch on the show? We said the Jags are going to have to stop this trips right bunch. And what happened? They destroyed them on it. Now, unfortunately, we got some problems here because look how the Giants score. Okay. Oh, man, I have to find this. Hope I can find it. Give me a second. I will find it. All right, whatever. I must have put it in the wrong subcategory. That's okay. All right. Well, what are your thoughts on Herndon getting the start? He seems kind of inconsistent like Shaq. Like, I don't think there is a huge far drop-off between Herndon and Griffin. And listen, I'm not one of these guys that's piling on Griffin. I'm actually going to like kind of back off the Griffin hate because I do think he might have been injured at some point in the game. I'm going to back off the hate, but I have been tough on him since we signed him. And those of you that have watched the channel for a while, I'll admit when I'm right. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I have been on Shaq Griffin since the day he was signed. He has not lived up to his contract. Now, does that mean he can't get better? I think he can. But in the meantime, I don't think you're going to see a big drop-off. C Breacher says, we have to get Kirk involved early. Yeah, I know. You're right. You're right. Well, let's take a look at what else, what their defense can do. Okay, so here's how another way you can beat the cover 3 right here. All right, so here you're going to see them in the cover 3. And this game is against the Giants or the Packers. Okay, so watch what Aaron Rodgers is able to do. This is in London. Oh, wait, you guys can't see it. I learned last time I didn't do it. This time I did. Look at me. I'm getting better. This was against the Giants and the Packers in London. And here you're just going to see you're going to see double ends. And again, like, you shouldn't get beat in the middle of the field in cover 3. Like, look here. Like, I told you guys, they're cover 3. 1, 2, 3. Deep thirds, deep thirds, deep thirds. Now, where cover 3 is typically weak is the boundary, right? So anywhere on the boundary is typically where cover 3 is weak. So I think that's where the Jags are going to attack. But if you can get protection. Now, watch this Packers offensive line. I know they don't get a lot of credit, but watch them here. I mean, they give Rodgers a lot of time, and they're able to find the middle of the field. Like their linebackers and nickel corners don't necessarily cover the middle of the field as well as they should in a cover 3. But again, they're going to get time. I mean, if you have time to run double ends like this and get all the way to the middle, other side of the field, then that's too much time. And you can't really blame the secondary here. But Trevor's going to have chances. So hopefully they take shots down the field because, listen, they took chances there. Yeah. Philip Butcher, channel member, says, how dare you back off the Shaq hate? Listen, I think he might have been injured. And even if he wasn't, I've piled on him enough since he's been here in Jacksonville. I've said all I need to say about him. Timmy Devil 999 has not lived up to his contract is the understatement of the year. Timmy, I know. We know Herndon is slow. Why are we playing him on the outside? I think he's okay. I mean, he's no slower than Shaq Griffin. Hopefully Williams plays the other side and Herndon will be in the slot, says Antonio. I don't really like the Darius Williams in the slot. Like, I didn't watch a lot of him in LA. Everyone said he played on the outside and he has the worst PFF coverage grade in this, like, for our team, and he plays in the slot. So yeah, maybe put him on the outside. I said at the beginning of our Tuesday show. If you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it. We have a Tuesday show where we broke Philip Butcher $10 through Super Chat. Philip, thank you. That means a lot. I mean, we messed up the beginning of the show. We've had little errors here and there, but yet a $10 Super Chat from a channel member, Philip Butcher. Thank you, Philip. You know I appreciate that you're here. You know I always love when you're in the chat and when you're around. Thank you. He says Shaq is not injured. LOL. Okay. Is he pulling a Jalen Ramsey with the back? Maybe he saw Jalen do it and he was like, it works. I don't think he's. Listen, I said at the beginning of the show on Tuesday that there's no way the coaches can watch the film from the Colts game and start Shaq Griffin. I know what Peterson said in the press conference. He still has faith in him, but there's absolutely no way. He had one of the worst performances I've seen from a Jaguars corner, and I've watched some bad people around here. So, yeah. Revolution says, how did Josh Allen play last week? I hope we can generate some sacks this week. It's been dim recently in that area. Yeah, well, I think it's hard to evaluate the Colts game because their game plan was to eliminate the pass rush, and our linebackers couldn't stop it. Yeah. All right, let's look at more of the defense here. We're going to be able to run on them, right? So take a look here. Like, we're definitely going to be able to run. Kenyon Drake, like I said, had a great game against the Giants. And, look, he just finds the hole here, gets up in the block. I mean, this is a run play it looks like the Jags would run. I know it's weird seeing number 17 run the ball because it's not a number, but look at this. I mean, the Ravens pull. The Ravens are actually running a fullback, which the Jags don't do, but the Ravens run a fullback, and they're going to hit him up here in the gap. They're going to pull their guard. This is Zeitler, if y'all remember Zeitler. I think it's Kevin Zeitler or something like that. Gets in the gap, gets skinny. I mean, Kenyon Drake had himself a good game. I mean, let's take a look at here. Do we have more Kenyon Drake? I know we have Kenyon Drake. I think there's another one for Kenyon Drake right here. Look at it. Here's the fullback in motion. It's the same play. Like, they ran this. That's the same exact play. So you know that the Jags are watching this, and the same exact play worked. You pulled your guard, and you motioned your fullback, and you got into the B gap, and you're up the field. Yeah. So I mean, look. Like I said at the beginning of the show, expect the Jags to run the ball a lot. The Cowboys had a lot of success running the ball. The Ravens had a lot of success running the ball. Definitely can happen here. Another way you can beat them is with your tight end. Mark Andrews had a really, really good game. All right, really good game. So here you're going to see Andrews just going to release down the seam and gets there. So look. I mean, that's if you didn't see where he started. Sorry, guys, I forgot to circle him. I've watched this film a bunch of times, so I forget. Sometimes you guys don't know where they're at. So Mark Andrews is going to release from here. They're in their two tight end set. We run that a lot. And he's just going to go down the seam. And this is why this play is important, okay? Because I think Evan Ingram will have a revenge game, right? He's going to want to show his former team up. And like I said, the linebackers in the middle of the field aren't very good in coverage for the Giants. We've saw receivers beat them. Now we're seeing Mark Andrews beat him on a seam route. Good play here. You can beat him with a seam route. There's a Mark Andrews touchdown that I didn't have a lot of time to organize my clips, so you guys are going to have to bear with me for just 1 second, but I know you guys will, and I know you guys are okay with that. Let's see here. Mark Andrews. I don't know what happened to it. Sorry, boys. There's a Mark Andrews play here somewhere. He beats Fabian Moreau. Right here. That's my fault. I did not label these very well. Okay, so watch. So Mark Andrews is going to be lined up here in the slot. And he does one. I mean, this looks like a wide receiver playing tight end. I mean, look at this play right here. That release, like, listen, one of the things you evaluate receivers on is their release on the ball, okay? So when you have a defensive back in press, okay, pressing you, like a receiver being able to shake him and release is like one of the things you look for in a receiver. Look, this is a tight end. Look at Mark Andrews' release at the line of scrimmage. Watch his footwork and watch his release. Watch this. That is just absolutely disgusting. From a tight end. No shot. No shot. And then Fabian Moreau's been good, too. Like, Fabian Moreau's been a good corner. And I talked to some Giants fans, and they said this play was weird. They said it should have been a delay of game, and some of the Giants players took it off, is what I saw. The toss there at the end. I love it. Grace Lambert says, LOL. C. Breacher says, how you feeling about our free agent acquisition? I didn't even see it. I need to see it. I'll have to go look at it. Timmy Devil 999 says $16 million and has no interceptions. Oof. He had a couple drops last year. Remember that? Philip Butcher says literally nobody else does film breakdowns like this for Jags fans. Hit that like button, y'all. Yeah, hit the like button. I mean, seriously, that $10. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate it. Jags History says Evan Ingram revenge game. Yes, it is. Moon Illusion says, dang, they got a few pass rushers out. We got to pound the rock all game. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you have success. I didn't get into the Cowboys game. I just got in their last 3. But you can definitely run it on them for sure. This play right here, couldn't even – it looked like the Giants weren't sure what the coverage should have been because, like I said, they play a lot of cover 3, right? So expecting this guy to drop to thirds. They're cover 3 all day long. But then they're going to rotate at the snap. And I don't know what they end up in. Yeah, maybe that's cover 3. Okay, that's cover 3. Again, that's just 2 ends in the middle of the field. The Ravens kept running the same exact plays against the Giants, and it was working. Run the ball to the strong side B gap, pulling somebody, and throw 2 ends. Their linebackers are not great. This is cover 3. Yeah, I thought that wasn't the coverage. I didn't know, but I don't know. This one's good. This is what we're talking about, running the ball, all right? Again, Kenyon Drake goes to the opposite side, and goodbye. And this is when they had everybody. This isn't even when they were with players out. So, I mean, you're going to be able to run the ball on them for sure because I think Kenyon Drake was picked up off the street, wasn't he? So pull a guard. I mean, look here. You're going to see this is the recipe right here, boys. We just saw how many plays did we just see this backside guard pull, right? And then what are they going to do here now? Now they're going to pull this guard into the gap. Simple recipe. It's on film. Get a fullback to lead block. I don't know. Get Luke Farrell back there. Chris Manhurts. Moon Illusion says, I feel bad for Tyson. The guy locks down one side of the field while Shaq and Darius burn us at times. Yeah, I mean, corners, though, it's a position corners, you can at least grade them out individually, right? It's hard to evaluate a receiver if his other receivers are bad. It's hard to evaluate an offensive lineman if his other offensive linemen are bad. But a corner, although it is the hardest position to play, you can fairly evaluate how good corners are because you end up in man-on-man a lot of times. Or people know what your responsibility is on the zone. So they can, evaluate you specifically. Fat Boy Shot says Etienne and J-Rob will outshine Barkley. Yeah, it depends on like what kind of game they had. Be like the last couple games, Barkley hasn't really done much. He's been okay. I mean, his yards per carry are decent, but he doesn't get a lot of yards. Like let's see here. I don't know if I have his stats. In the Packers game, he had 13 carries for 70 yards. So you can stop him if you want. They do have DeMarcus Lawrence though. Is there a DeMarcus Lawrence play on here? There's Kayvon Thibodeau. I know there's. I don't have him organized here. He beats Zeitler here. Okay, here we go. I knew there was a play where he beat Zeitler. I mean, no one open. I mean, you could kind of chalk that up to no one being open. I mean, Zeitler is a 11-year guard, been good, and he's gonna get bull rushed by DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, they got good interior defensive linemen, there's no doubt about it. And Kayvon Thibodeau is good. I mean, so they do have guys out, but I mean they're good. I mean they've put a lot of emphasis on their defense, which I was impressed to see, and it's proven. Volkfang, I thought I heard somewhere the Giants are 28th against the run. Yeah, no, they haven't been good against the run for sure. Ravens signed Drake right before the season started. Raiders cut him after giving him a 2-year, $16 million contract. Moon Illusion says, I've seen some fans calling for Mike Caldwell's head already. Talk about an overreaction. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Colts executed. They did what they were supposed to do. You can't blame them for that. He probably should have adjusted a little bit more, but look at this play from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I put this on Twitter. Like I clipped this and put it on Twitter because this throw is absolutely amazing. Okay, so he obviously creates time, but like this angle doesn't even do it justice, right? So like he's gonna step up into the pocket. I know this is not about Aaron Rodgers, but look at this throw on the run, and like that. Like, that looks like a pretty sweet throw from that angle. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, dang, that's a pretty sweet throw. Watch it from this angle, okay? Watch the exact same. Watch this throw. Look at the window he fit this throw. Like, what? Like, what? Like, please. Let me see if I can pause it. Look at this window he put it through. Defender here. Defender here, and his own player here. I mean, this guy's essentially acting as a defender because his arm is outreached right here. I mean, he's essentially, as a defender, trying to bat the ball down. So look at this window he fits it through. That is insane. That is absolutely, I mean, that's one of the best throws I've ever seen. I mean, maybe that's lucky, but have you ever seen a tighter window on the run? That just blew my mind when I saw that play. I had to clip that one. Josh Allen you need to show up. Show up. Trayvon make a play. Yeah. Wow, that's a beauty. United, do you think Josh Allen has earned another contract so far? I don't think so. I mean, he's been good, but if you're picking high this year, like didn't you just used a pick on a D end? It depends on what you can get him for. I don't know. Maybe he's earned it, but it depends on what you can get him for. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, man, shaking my head. Wow. Timmy, I really don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Josh Allen is? I mean, that's a good question. I'd like to see what you guys think. He's been good. He's pressured. He's gotten pressures. He's definitely one of our better players. But I mean, what's he gonna demand? Is it gonna be like a Ngakoue type situation where him and his camp think he's worth more than he is? And that's something to think about. You can't give Josh Allen big money, that's for sure. Do you think we would pay Juwan after this year? That would lead to a ton of money. Yeah, I mean, I would pay Juwan. I think Juwan's actually a good player. I mean, he's a guy that I think could be realistic about what he gets paid. You could give him, 3 years, $35 million, maybe 3 years, $40 million. I think that'd be worth it because I think he's been actually really good this year. He's been really good, and he's been healthy. He's like never been hurt, which I think is really valuable for an offensive lineman. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Kayvon Thibodeau had a decent play here. Actually, I'm kind of tired of looking at that game. Let's see. Um, you can beat them deep. Like I said, if you can get time, you can beat them deep. Like, watch. This is not what I wanted to show here. Yeah, you can beat them deep. I'd pay Juwan over Josh Allen right now. Poor Walker Little, says Moon. Yeah. Let's see here. This is a good play from the Giants defense. Lamar Jackson just makes a stupid throw here. I mean, this is just an overall horrible play. Just horrible play. And I mean, on top of everything, like Lamar Jackson, after all of this, and like instead of throwing it away, he tries to throw it to the fullback. You can't throw it to the fullback. You can't do that. I mean, the play is over. I don't think it was fourth down. That's Julian Love, a guy that the Giants have been big on. But Lamar Jackson like really imploded. I think he fumbled too. Let's see here. Yeah, he fumbles here from Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, this was the last 2 drives of the game for the Ravens, where was that interception and this fumble. Like, they needed to get points on either one of these drives to like keep it a game, and they just completely fell apart. I think they got outscored in the fourth quarter 14-0. I mean, Kayvon did it, man. He's a lot like Travon Walker. You got to keep your eye on him because every once in a while he's going to flash. He's going to do something like super athletic. He's a good player. Can we just keep showing Jags versus Chargers highlights till we win again? Yes. Yes. What else we got here? All right, let's take a look at the Giants offense. All right, so obviously Saquon is the guy we're going to have to beat, but admittedly, Saquon didn't have a ton of production in the last 2 games. I mean, they didn't need it. They didn't need it against the Ravens. They didn't really get it. The Packers, they didn't really get it out of the Packers. Giants, Bears, Barkley went off. He had 31 carries in that game against the Bears. And Daniel Jones only threw it 13 times. He was injured. Tyrod Taylor threw it another 3 times. But they only threw the ball combined 16 times and 31 carries from Barkley. Daniel Jones ran it 6 times on top of that. Tyrod ran it a few times on top of that. So, I mean, if the Giants need to, they will run the ball until you stop it. So the first thing that the Jags are going to have to do is stop the run. 100%. When you do that, then the Giants will play, take what you give them, try to kick field goals, try to score points every drive. Literally, if you watch the Giants, I watch them all their games. They literally, Brian Daboll just says, move the ball forward. Don't take negative plays. Take what the defense gives you and get off the field with points, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. And that's literally what they do. And it's worked because they've executed. Raiden Shogun, what up, Pokey? Pokey streamed today on Twitch. I tried to watch it, Pokey, but I was somewhere where I wasn't getting great internet, so I couldn't see it. He says I pre-ordered a new game, by the way, Resident Evil 4 remake. I feel like you're always playing Resident Evil, Pokey, or something like it. Moon Illusions, has Daniel Jones been having a bunch of turnovers still, or has he cleaned them up? I remember him fumbling a lot. He's been a lot better at turning the ball over. I wish I could find the play with the trips bunch. I know it's in here. I know the trips bunch is in here. Oh, here it is. You just have to look. So if you remember in the Colts game, like we just had an insane amount of problems covering this trips bunch right here. For some reason, the Jags like played man, and like, what do you think they're gonna do? I mean, like, obviously they're gonna try to do something on you. That's why they're lined up like this, and they fall into the same trap here. I mean, look at that. Just runs the out from the inside. Wan'Dale Robinson. So the Jags struggled with this, so they're going to have to pattern match. Like I talked about this a bunch on Tuesday. You got to play first guy out. You got to play. He's actually playing man here. Wow, they blitzed this guy. What a horrible. Please don't tell me that's what they did. Wow. Look at this defense. The guy that was closest to the ball, here's why you can't worry, because you're like, oh, you see the play and you see this guy and you think because he's chasing him, right? You think because 22's chasing him that he's his man, right? And 22 got burnt. But look what they did pre-snap. This is exactly what the Jags do. What a horrible call by the defense coordinator. Horrible call. Watch this. They're playing straight man, okay? So he is manned up with him. He's going to blitz. And this guy's supposed to jam here, and he's supposed to play man here, okay? And what a horrible play call. My goodness, I didn't even notice that the first time. Yeah. So the Jags are going to have to pattern match, or they're going to fall victims of the same exact thing there for sure. Saquon, right. I moved quickly. Saquon Barkley. Look at this play. I mean, not a huge run, but look at this. And like, he doesn't get credit for this. Like, this doesn't show up. This is why people that like give me stats. I'm always like, I don't care about stats. You make stats anything say you want. You can make stats say whatever you want. Because Saquon should have had a touchdown here, but he ends up taking a knee at the 1, and they end up kneeling out the game and winning it. Like, he got the first down, and then they won the game, took a knee. Like, he should have had another touchdown. So, what a move there. I mean, they needed that. The Ravens needed that stop right there. And look at the spin move. Oh, my Lord. Now, there's been a lot of talk with him because the Christian McCaffrey trade went through, and a lot of Giants fans were talking about trading Saquon Barkley preseason. I mean, this is his contract year, and you look at the haul that a guy like Christian McCaffrey got. There was Giants fans on their subreddit talking about today. I was reading it today, and they were talking about how Saquon, like, would you still trade him? You know, I think the probability of them making the playoffs right now is 80%, and most people were like, keep him and don't trade him. But he's got value. After seeing what McCaffrey got, a second, third, fourth, and another fourth, that's a lot of trade value for a running back. So, especially got the injury history. Saquon's in the same boat. But I mean, he looks good. When in this game and in the game before. So, another thing that they're going to do is they're going to get Daniel Jones to run the ball. Okay, now they had like 2 naked boot touchdowns. In the what game was it? Wasn't the Packers game? Let's see here. He had 2 naked boots against the Bears, I think. I don't know, but he ran the same play. So gotta watch out for that for sure. Here's a play where he scores a touchdown. This is against the Bears. This isn't the naked boot. I messed up all my clips here, huh? It's all right. Deep cross. Here's a deep cross to Darius Slayton. Now, this is what the Jags fell prey to all last week. They're going to play, like, I think it's a cover 2 man, I believe. Excuse me. And so he's manned up here, and they do a lot of play action. It's just going to give him time to run across the field. I mean, you run the ball as effective with Saquon. Now you're in trouble. Your linebackers are out of position. Only had 2 guys on routes is all they needed. You know, so I mean, Slayton's a better running back or receiver than people are giving him credit for sure. Do you think Wandale goes off against our D? I've got him in fantasy, LOL. No, I don't think so. Daniel Jones has shocked people this year. He's played well, and Daboll has coached him up, playing to his strengths. Yeah. Brian Daboll has definitely been a game changer for him for sure. Here's one here. Daniel Bellinger, another guy that's kind of flown under the radar against the Ravens. He's just going to sneak out. I mean, that's a good throw by Daniel Jones. I mean, we just talked about Daniel Jones. This is a good throw right here. I mean, that's tight. That's a tight window. He's rolling out to his left. He gets set. Yeah. Not a bad play. I mean, on the same token, though, This happened on the same drive. Now watch this. This should have been an interception. I mean, yeah, it was passing interference. I mean, it was technically passing interference. But that's a bad throw. I mean, I think he got tipped at the line, maybe. No, he got his. He threw. Like, that should have been an interception. Like, this play should have been an interception. It was holding, though. You can't hold him like that. I mean, if he didn't do that, I mean, that's a big time. How do you step out of bounds right there, too? Like, I don't know. Do we have any other players out besides Shaq? Yeah, I think they said Agnew's out. So, hey, listen, you're going to have to find the next man up. Tim Jones had a catch last game. Maybe he's the next guy up. I don't know. Maybe he is. I think all these plays I messed up here. Yeah. Here's another play. I mean, here's what you might have to do. Like, if the D-line can get moving here, right? Again, they're going to run that play action, and they won't run a lot of receivers with it. I mean, here they had a late release by a tight end. They got pressure on the running back out of the backfield, so not a lot of reads for Daniel Jones. And in that situation, you might be able to get pressure. So this is Zeitler. If you watch him here, he's got a maybe it's not Zeitler, different play, but he's just going to come in here and bull rush through. Yeah, it's the center. So he just works the center there. And you can do it. You can do it for sure. Trayvon Walker has to stop with the crucial penalties. Yeah, I know. Listen, he's a rookie. He's going to do things that rookies do. It's part of it. Yeah, I mean, he will. I think he will. I mean, I like what I've seen out of him. You're kind of seeing a lot of the similar trajectory out of the other DNs that were drafted, Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson. They're having like moments where they flash, and they're having moments where they look like rookies, and that's kind of how it goes. I think sometimes we get spoiled on some of these guys that come out and are just dominate, like a Myles Garrett, that just come out and just like are the guy right away. Like that's not typical of what happens, but it's really it's gonna come down to beating the cover 3 that the Giants are gonna play and all the defense, and it's gonna be just limiting Saquon Barkley. Everyone knows that. Like, they're going to stack the box. So, can you get pressure on Daniel Jones? And can you – I mean, I don't see Mike Caldwell coming out of his cover 1. So, they're going to have to get pressure. And that's going to be the big question mark. Like, I would have said for the defense, it would have been stopping a certain player. But that's really not what the game plan is. The game plan is to get pressure on the quarterback because they're playing man. I mean, they're playing man with one high. They're playing Cisco in the middle of the field, and everyone else is playing man. That's what they're doing. I mean, they did that almost every single play against the Colts. And I think the Colts and the Giants offense are built similarly. So can Caldwell, he's going to bring that 5th guy, but sometimes that 6th guy. Can those 2 guys get pressure on the quarterback? Because if you let him sit in the pocket for more than 2 or 3, 4 seconds, then someone's going to be open in that man. The second thing is they're going to have to tackle. The check down to the running back is going to be open when you play that man. So can your linebackers make the tackle on the check down running back or on the tight end screen or on the throw to the flat to the receiver who did a 2-yard curl? I mean, that's what it's really going to come down to. And we saw against the Colts that we couldn't get pressure and we couldn't tackle. So can we clean it up? We've seen games where we do it. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be definitely interesting to see. I don't know if the Giants are as good as I just don't know if they're as good as a lot of people are saying. And again, it's nothing about like the team and the athletes. It's more of just about they execute well. I don't see any of their coaching staff over or underestimating us, but I don't know. We'll see. It'll be good. We'll see what happens. Listen, appreciate you guys being here. It's been a good show. I think I'm going to hang out on the Twitch scene for a little bit here. If you don't follow my Twitch, it's Jags_United. I think we're gonna do a little something, just kind of mess around a little bit, see what's happening on the Twitch sphere. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of the chat. What do we cheer for if we lose this game? We cheer for the Jags. Ben, you know that. It's hard to believe they're 5-1. Yeah, I know. Well, hey, I want to thank you guys. I appreciate it. Philip Butcher, $10. Thank you, man. I appreciate it again. I appreciate that. Thank you to everyone that was here and in the chat. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends that are other Jags fans about the channel. I'm just, I'm ready to see something. I'm ready to see something about the Jags. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on Tuesday night or on Twitch or on Twitter or on Instagram.